Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Episode 4 of the Feral Sunflowers. As us.
Podcast. Welcome back.
Cheers.
Cheers. This pandemic is no longer fun.
No, it just keeps going.
It's just, Jesus Christ.
Like a feral sunflower.
Yeah.
They spread very easily and they don't let up.
Certainly don't. So unvaccinated people are becoming second-class citizens.
They are.
And
did you see that fun interview with Jacinda? The interviewer. She was the interviewee. He goes, "Oh, so like you're creating this class between like the vaccinated and unvaccinated." She smiles. She goes, "Yeah."
Damn, I didn't see that shit, but
I'll link you.
Welcome back to things that are gonna keep you up at night.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
She had this nice smile on her face as well. She showed all 72 of her teeth,
Yeah.
She's got a big mouth.
We're gonna end up like getting suicided.
Yeah. Those gay death notes.
Yeah. Just, I can't believe Josh killed himself. 2 shots in the back of the head. You thought the first one would incapacitate him.
Yeah, right.
Didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, that itchy trigger thing.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, he went to school in America.
Yeah, and he shot himself in the ass 3 hours after he was dead.
So we're drinking sodas. You haven't drunk them before, but I'd be careful. They're potent.
Every time I have drunk soju, but I haven't, because every time I've just blacked out. I don't think it agrees with me. Actually, I might go for that wine instead.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Cool. You can totally keep going on the soju, but so there's this girl.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I'm like, it's very potent, and he's driving home.
It's very nice.
She does every time.
But it's all good.
Just wait half an hour for it to fucking breathe.
Yeah, and then it's like warm. Yeah, no, what the fuck I was saying?
There's something about soju, you blacking out.
Oh yeah, no, I've just blacked out every time.
Yeah, it's a nasty feral.
It's a feral fucking drink. But like I get it, but so I was super heartbroken one time. I was like, there's this girl I super fell in love with her, like to the level where like just the realization had crept up on me that I was seeing on color for the first time.
You're in high school?
No, I was about 21. And I was young and full of hope back then.
Yeah.
And dude, I fucking I just drank this soju. I just went right off the rails. I was fucking like crying in town. I was like, look at this. I hopped into an Uber and I threw up.
In the Uber,
like all down the side of the car. And they were like, they kicked us out.
Oh, fuck your rating.
Yeah. And they were just like, it was my friend that got it apparently. I was too fucked. And then we're sitting on the side of the road. And I was like, oh, like, I fucking love this girl. And they're like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, you're going to be fine. And I get into the second Uber and immediately I just vomit into the footwell. Apparently, this is all secondhand. Like, I don't remember any of that.
Right. So both of those Ubers were not your Ubers as well. So your rating was unaffected.
They're from 2 different fans.
Fantastic.
So
the first one moved an Uber after that.
Yeah.
There must be like a red red flag for like certain people, and they're like, all right, this guy's thrown up. Like, put the red flag up on the old Uber app. Yeah,
they if you like abuse Uber drivers, which I recommend, you basically get red flags, right? So you don't get picked up.
They've got their own system. We humor ourselves with the rating system and how that affects our response time, whatever. But no, you're like it's like the traffic light system.
Yeah.
But for Uber.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was just
first love. First proper love. You just love.
No,
you're a relationship sort of guy.
Yes and no. I'd love people before, but like this was just different. I'd love people to what my understanding of love was at those times.
Right.
And as it became more sophisticated and evolved, I kind of realized that, like, compared to the current definition,
right? It's
far more, it was a lot more sort of simpler and naive. I think
a lot more puppy dog-ish, puppy dog-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I think about my first love, sorry. When you do watch eventually, when I become rich and famous. Don't worry, this is gonna be deleted. But
We're going back and deleting like the first fucking 100 episodes.
at least.
Yeah. We'll send this one to it.
But yeah, you look back at it and you're like, oh god, I wasn't in love. I was just, I was just living in this idea. This idea that I created. That we both created together. And sort of floating along this cloud that is completely disconnected from reality.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to like romanticize what you hope a person to be. I think listen, life's a fucking horror, dude.
Oh yeah.
Life's a fucking horror.
It's a great motto.
Every dream is a heartache. You know what I mean? Life is gonna fucking hurt like a bitch.
It is.
It's gonna hurt like a bitch no matter what you do. We are sitting in the greatest battle royale that the universe has ever seen. Bro, people are getting fucking eaten alive out there.
Yeah, people are marching in the streets.
People marching in the streets.
There's no violence.
Someone's uncle is fucking them.
Oh yeah.
Right now. It's a horror. Life is a fucking horror.
With eye contact.
And yet, why did it make it worse?
It's much worse with the eye contact.
He's got a lazy eye. He's like trying to keep both in frame. He's like doing this shit.
Well, with the eye contact, like there's nothing that you can there's no deflecting that memory. Like you're fully immersed with no eye contact. You can sort of go to this like
different place.
Yeah, you go to a different place. You can you can black it out.
Why does this sound like the blissful experience?
Sorry?
Why does this sound like the blissful experience?
No.
You're like, I can't make eye contact with anyone now.
Yeah.
No, but if that did happen, I apologize on behalf of the universe. But life's a fucking horror. And
that's the point.
The fucking weird thing is that, like, I think as you get older, you kind of start to find that out. And you're like, oh, evil is baked into every fabric, every fiber of the universe.
Yeah.
On every abstraction, there's just carnage, and it makes me wonder about God.
Yeah, there really isn't much good. And when you do see the good, you're so emphatic by that point. You're like, oh god, like I really enjoy that moment. Like, why didn't I enjoy that moment so much? Very normal moment.
Yeah.
Like someone was just like helping someone across the road, or like you shared a joke in a tense time, or you're at work and like you had you're leaning against the water cooler. And you're like, oh man, why did I enjoy that so much? But like that's the highlight of your week. Yeah. We've all become that Karen that episode too. Yeah, exactly.
Like she's reaching out, she's like, give me a coffee in the coffee shop. And she almost kind of drops it. She laughs. She goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, I almost dropped it on you. Touched my hand.
And you tell everyone you know.
I tell everyone I know. Yeah. And no, but here's the thing, like immediately time began to slow down and all I hear is just wise man. So she's like, sir, why are you singing? No, but it's weird. Like even
that sounds like David Wilson.
Yeah,
just like a scene David Wilson. You haven't seen too many of those though, right?
I haven't seen too many, no.
Oh, you'd love them. You'd love them. Yeah, they're very real. I think it's like you can kind of look pessimistically at it. It's like this should just this is just sort of like how I was talking about Mike Flanagan.
Right.
But it's not. It's very dissimilar because it's very real. He talks about just sort of like kind of like a comedian would do. How he takes like the sort of mundane and then sort of just like tweaks it a little bit. And makes it
yeah.
Same vein.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Lynchy.
I think like as you get older and you just become more horrified gradually, I think, people just begin to believe in fairy tales. I think fairy tales are more for adults than they are for kids, but I feel like it's a different thing. Like, I feel that, people talk about like castles and princes and princesses and shit like that. But I think, things like love and marriage,
right?
And the
structure,
and they tell their kids like, hey, one day you'll find someone, and they'll be the one, and you'll go off, and it's going to be a great life.
You'll fuck one girl.
Have you ever talked to someone who's been married for like 15 fucking years? It's a horror. It's crazy what the fuck happens. Every sacred thing just gets perverted.
I mean, to be fair, there's this one guy, Phil. Geez, I probably should. We'll blank that out. We didn't have to do that.
Shout out Blank.
Mr. Blank. But I mean, he was living an obviously miserable life, and this is a Phil from England, by the way. Different Phil. It's too late now. But anyway, he was struggling, but he had like a wife and kids, two kids. they were probably just out of town or whatever. But and he was like, he was drinking a lot, and he was obviously very miserable. And like we were in like this drunken state, we're having a few beers, and it was sort of like, oh man, keep that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think everyone has that to a certain degree when you get to a certain age, where like, your job isn't significant. The relationships you have outside like your whole one, your other half, you might meet up with them 3 or 4 times a year, at Christmas, at this, at that, at rugby games. Yeah, I think everyone's depressed.
Yeah, wildly. And then like, you have this kid and you just see this as like a second chance for greatness, I think. Vicariously. Yeah. Most people live vicariously.
Living through them, right?
Living through them.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Living vicariously through their kids, hoping that the kids are going to change. And then this whole fucking chain continues.
It's only sexuality.
Yeah, it's the same fucking thing.
Vicariously.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank
you. Vicariously, they're just like, hey son, you ever want to fuck a guy? Uncle Steve's coming. No, but yeah, no, I feel like people just romanticize life, romanticize romance and relationships, and that's kind of the weird thing, because like every married person I've ever talked to has said like, all that shit fades away. Like all those feelings go away, and then like the real love is like a choice to stay there. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking sound like, you know what I mean?
It sounds like a hobby. Like, it's just like that person's your hobby as well, like along with the other things you do in your life.
Yeah.
It's not love. It's just the person that you're around.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta marry your friends.
Yeah.
You gotta marry someone that you're very friendly with. It's not attraction based. Attraction based shit never lasts. Like,
I feel like
I'm attracted to like,
John,
some hobo on the fucking side of the road,
Right.
Well, she can be sexy, she's a slug, she's carefree, she lives day to day. That is something that is attractive, like along with many other different types of genres of attraction for me, categorically. But just as an example, but I'm not going to marry that gal. But you could marry. I mean, obviously, like you weigh things up, but attraction is like the sort of the pulling factor of these. Like, oh, she was my childhood sweetheart. You didn't know anything about this girl. Like, I don't want to hear any more childhood sweetheart stories. I also don't want to hear about people who hooked up at work. It's like, how many people are out there in the world, and you just happen upon someone that you work like 4 cubicles down from. Like, you're reaching. It's a reach.
Right. Yeah, I feel like personally I would have to marry someone that I want to fuck, because it kind of, listen, I'm a thirsty boy.
Yeah, but it can't be the soul moving, driving.
No,
force.
God, no. Jesus Christ, no. But
it's not even a vehicle.
No, I always thought it would be funny, like for like a movie like script, like 2 best friends just decide to marry each other, and then they like, it's like 2 dudes. They're like, yeah, bro, we're married. Like, yeah, man, we're saving hella money on our taxes.
Yeah,
that's a fucking sick, man. Yeah, let's have like girls around every night, bro. We're just fucking mad pussy. And then they just end up falling in love and actually like having children. Like adopting kids and shit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because it'd be pretty funny.
Is it their friendship they fall in love with, and they're just like, while they're there, they're like, we may as well be fucking, or they end up their attraction sort of the love evolves into attraction.
See, I was thinking it would be a threesome.
Right,
and
every
like
time.
Because they have girlfriends.
Natural progression.
You know what I mean. The catch eyes or something while they're trying to do the Eiffel Tower over some girl's back. Something like that, and then every the high five. They
just do a high hug.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just spit
roast 69.
Exactly, it's what it is. So they just
standing.
That's what it is. They're just spit roasting some poor wench.
Yeah.
And he goes to high five him.
She's happy about it.
And the high five just lasts a little too long. There's just a little bit of a grip in that high five.
They are kind of again and come back to that.
Exactly. And then they just start holding hands. Yeah, it's just a slow progression. And then 15 years later, they're in a house, there's a white picket fence. And then one of them looks at the other and because they're in these sort of like chairs, and they've adopted 2 children. Exactly. Because the whole thing is like, hey man, like fuck marriage. Like, let's just do shit. So they're like, and eventually one of the movies like, dude, it would be cool to have like a sidekick. You know, let's just adopt a kid.
Yeah.
Like fuck yeah, like it'll be fucking hilarious, bro. Like we can just bro down with this fucking kid. Then they get like, oh man, he's lonely, bro. Like he's got to go to school and shit. Let's get another one. Like keep each other company. So they literally have like a whole family. And then one is kind of, so they're sitting there on the porch one day, kind of rocking back and forth, and they're like in their 60s. And one kind of looks at the other and goes, I think I'm gay. And the other one goes,
I like
what
it.
the fuck?
That has to be right at the end. Or like, because the whole way through, like, people are like, oh, you gay? They're like, what? You're fucking gay?
No, bro, I'm not gay, bro. We're just trying to save money on our taxes.
Yeah.
This ain't gay.
What are you talking about?
Yo, we figured it out.
Yeah, we sleep in the same bed.
Bro, we just smash Mac's ass every day, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like threesome.
Right. Sometimes she's not there, you know, sometimes it's threesome, sometimes she doesn't show up, and that's fine.
Sometimes the dog watches.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be a fucking hilarious movie. You know?
I love it. Is it I kind of interjected it, like, was the part where it's like, I think I'm gay, is that at the end?
That's right at the end. That's the last shot of the film.
That should be the last
That's the last shot. Yeah.
That should be the last bit of dialogue as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gay. And then the other one just
just
throws up. Not because being gay is gross, but just because like he realizes that he's also gay and they've just been denying it.
And that's gross.
And I want to have like an after credits scene though of them just kissing. You know, as the credits are scrolling up.
It's just sort of like sort of, what do you call it?
Like bloopers.
No, you know how like you have a
two actors that are in love.
what's the scare thing? Jump scare. It's like kind of just like jump scared into like it's shuttered into like just one spot, just like during just like halfway through the credits. It's just like picture them kissing.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm in heaven. Just as the credits go, I'm in heaven.
They haven't been,
and then just there's like a shot of them just kissing, scrolling up in the middle of the credits.
That's much better.
When you smile, there's like a gay porn gif. And then the Miramax logo. Heaven, I'm in heaven. And then it's like behind the scenes, the actors are fucking heaven.
These movies don't exist though, man. Like they're not backed. Like they don't have that Weinstein in them, because you'd see more of them. Like, you know, you've got your Moody. Have you seen movie 43 or the movie?
Yeah, I have.
Movies like that.
What a terrible day to have eyes that was.
You didn't like it?
I liked it as a young adolescent man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it again as a less young but still adolescent man, and I thought,
you saw no humor in it.
Sweet Christ. But it was alright.
But I think that like movies like that don't exist really.
No, they don't. You don't see that shit anymore.
You know, just like piss takes. Like the whole thing's a piss take.
Epic movie was good.
Epic movie was great. You know, there are like other movies like Dirty Work. But that's a bit older, 1995 or something. Actually, I don't know that. The one you have the one. But yeah, movies like that aren't made. You know, just like absolute piss takes where there's like a real anti-ending. I guess it's just a funding thing, right? To get it on a platform that we can watch it. They probably do exist, but they're lost in the ether of the internet. They're there, but we just don't see them because we don't look. I would love to see more of those movies. You know, movies that are like 40, 50 minutes long and they make no sense.
Me and a girlfriend of mine love to watch like shit movies.
Oh yeah.
We'll go to like IMDb.
Pegasus. You heard of that shit?
No.
Pegasus movies. And an old buddy of mine from Hibiscus Coast, their buddies used to do the same thing.
Sure.
But
it's tight, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll just go lowest rated and then just fucking watch one. And they are fucking bad.
You've seen The Room?
I've seen parts of it.
Ah, right. I guess everyone's in the world has seen either parts of it or the whole movie.
Yeah.
5 times.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Mark. He's just bawling or something. Yeah, he's having like a moment.
You're tearing me apart.
Yeah, that's like
fuck. Yeah, I've seen The Disaster Artist though, the movie about the movie The Room, which
old Jimmy Franco.
Old Jimmy Franco.
Apparently, he's a bit of a disaster to work with.
Apparently, that was fucking smooth. I like him though.
Yeah,
I like him. You know, listen, did he molest a couple of people? Maybe, maybe not. Even if he did,
you've got sort of this like underlying gratitude for potential molesters. Yeah. No,
I just
I
like
said that weird.
brilliance.
Molested.
Molested.
I was thinking like molesteers, but like that's the that's you.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone accused him of doing something, and then he had a falling out with.
Just being a bitch. He's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't think anything sexual. Just being a straight up bitch. Like he was just like being really rude to people.
Yeah.
And just like yelling at women.
Yeah. Listen, I get it. You know, yelling at women.
Yeah.
You know, some people just gotta get yelled at. No, I listen.
Some of them are women.
Some of them are women. Some people gotta get yelled at, and some of them are women. No, I like greatness.
Yeah.
You know,
and some of them molest women, and some of them yell at women.
Yeah, some of them are women. Some of them yell at women.
Right.
Some of them are women yelling at other women.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Some of them are women molesting other women.
That's less common.
That's what I'd love to talk about. I'd love to talk about female pedophiles.
Got it.
I'm trying to work on a bit. But you don't hear about female pedophiles.
You don't.
But what you do hear about is women fucking kids. You hear about teachers fucking children.
Yeah.
But we're like, hey, you know, like the whole world is just kind of like, hey.
Yeah.
But if the roles were reversed, and it was you at school teaching, you as a teacher, and with fornication with a younger student of the female variety, it would be fucking a massive uproar.
It would be.
Why?
Well, I don't know precisely. I think there's just different expectations for men and women. I think there's different expectations.
We're not scared.
There's different levels of give a shit, I think, for guys and girls. I think because boys are seen as less vulnerable.
Yeah.
When they're not. But
and you have to kind of be hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to kind of be into it to get raped.
Yeah.
As a man.
Right. Apparently not. Apparently if they just, you know, this chick just fucking tickles the balls a little, they're just hard as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Just start saying your mother's name.
Yeah. Remember when a girl would look at you and you'd just be like, you know,
true, and you're just like you'd be in like class and like you're in an all boys school, and you're just like, and just like a weird like a pencil or something like that, or just like a slight breeze came through, and then you was rock hard,
right?
And you're just thinking, Jesus, I'm in a fucking boys school.
Yeah, and now you gotta spit on a midget. And you know what I mean? You gotta kick a lady in the fanny. It's like, you know, and the weird thing is that while all this is happening,
but there are no ladies.
Yeah, but there are no ladies. And the weirdest thing is like that portrait of your mom sitting on the mantelpiece, staring right at you. You know, it's like you're disappointing Christ right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think about that a lot.
But
disappointing Christ.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, dude. But yeah, I think I think it's just fuck. I had a point before and it was gonna be funny.
Oh, I fucked you up with the pedo thing.
No, it was about the pedo.
It was about the pedo.
Pedo women,
yeah. I'm confused by it. I'm confused by it massively. You know, I can name 100 male pedophiles but you know that there are so many more. The ratio is. I don't care about the wage cap. I'm talking about the pedophile cap. That's what I care about. That's close to my heart. Yeah. It's a horror. Oh, daddy.
Yeah, it's my dad coming. No, female pedophiles. You know what?
I can't really think of an angle. Like it was going to be a wage cap joke.
Yeah, right.
And it was going to more of the fact that like we're probably less threatened by women as a whole.
No one really suspects the women.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it seems like with like men, like you can just do things sort of irrationally. But with a woman, like they seem far more rational people. So there would always be some sort of like, you know, and with like the randomness of their actions.
Right.
Yeah, there would always be sort of like some intent to, you know, they're just not gonna fuck with some guy.
Right.
To like that massive degree.
Yeah, right.
Like they'll fuck with them in different ways. Like they'll fuck with the cashier because daddy's not giving to her at home.
Got it.
And projecting those ways. But she's not gonna go out of her way to sort of I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, man. I'm reaching with this joke.
What I was gonna say.
I need to put more thought into it.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
But really that was just the point.
Yeah.
It's just like you don't hear about female pedophiles. And it's sad.
Yeah, you should start a blog. You know,
I should start a podcast.
Should,
Yeah.
yeah. Just out. and-
one day we both will.
Yeah, no, I don't know, dude. It's listen. Oh yeah, listen. I don't know precisely why, but listen. I know you don't hear about him, but listen. You know, we're losing 30 guys a day in New Zealand to suicide. So, you know,
Ooh, they're
out
there.
They're out there.
Yeah,
You know,
and they're not pretty.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
They're no Ted Bundy.
yeah, they're no Ted Bundy. God, isn't that so funny? You know, that like if someone's just really hot, people just forgive them.
Well, he
Yeah.
had like a little cult following.
Cult
Following. What I was saying. He had a little cult following because of his looks.
He got married when he was
People
on
were spoiling.
during his trial. Yeah, some woman.
That doesn't surprise me.
Charlie Manson got married in prison.
Well, he was a smart guy. People, women are they're attracted by intelligence.
Yeah, maybe, but like
That's why they like comedians.
yeah, yeah, and then they meet one and they're like,
Yeah, Jesus, red flag. Well, red flags. It's a plural.
Listen, comedy attracts a lot of people who should do it, who should not ever be handed anything to speak into and be heard by anyone. But
China has one to be good.
yeah. But yeah, dude, it's just weird because then like I was talking to someone the other day and they're like, oh, comedy and blah blah blah. Because everyone has this like again romanticized thing about comedy. And they're like, comedian.
Well, they want to be a comedian.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the circuit.
They want to be that guy.
Fucking blah 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 blah.
Because they don't start watching like guys like you or I or whatever, like doing stand up. Like they watch, your Jerry Seinfelds and you're this, you're that, you're that. Like we want to be that.
Yeah, but it's weird because like I was talking to someone the other day in the comedy community about it, and I was like, she's like, yeah, but do you ever notice that there's something just a little bit off about like a lot of comedians? It's just they're just weird people. I'm like, yeah, anybody who feels the need to get up on stage and just try to make strangers chuckle. I don't know if it's a mental illness specifically, but like something's going on. Like
you very rarely meet a well-rounded comic.
Yeah.
You don't meet a guy who's like super normal.
No, precisely. It's so there's always something like lurking in the corner.
And their talent sort of outweighs their negatives as well.
If it doesn't, they're in trouble. So there's that.
They don't get spots.
But it's weird. It's weird. I will often be at these bars and I've just come off a set and people are like, that was really good. And I'm like, great, but like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And then but I think that's more like a depressive thing.
Oh, it certainly is.
And then I get over it.
Yeah.
And then I come back.
It's certainly very verifying when you're you're not a second guesser, you're not an overthinker like I am. But when I'm thinking, oh fuck, like my shit sucks, this is terrible, it's bad jokes. And then I get up there and I may perform terribly, but my writing's good. And then I get off and then I see a few more people go up and I remember back to act 2 or act 3. And I'm like, oh cool, I'm all good. I'm actually I do this horrible thing where I compare myself to everyone that's performed. But it does make me feel a lot better about myself.
That's fair. I tend to just...
You compare?
No, because I just kind of know that I'm really good at what I do.
Right.
So I kind of just go up there and just do it.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of times where I'm just like, Jesus. This
guy's fucking amazing? Or?
No, where I've just been up there and I'm just like, oh, this isn't going as good as it usually does.
Right.
Because like, I've gotten a couple people mad before.
Yeah.
Does
that throw you off?
No, I think it throws everyone else off because I just begin to antagonize them.
Cool.
Like we just start to get into argument and I just start making fun of them.
Yeah.
And then they, and then it becomes, and then everyone's just like, oh, great, like,
Right.
So, yeah, weird. You see some interesting people as well. Like I remember one time we were sitting there and some guy was like, hey, fucking Asians. So someone mentioned a joke about like it's something to do with like Asia or like Asian people. He's like, yeah, there's fucking Asians, man. Like they got a blah blah blah. And the whole bar was just like, oh, come on, what the fuck? But it wasn't a comic, it was a guy in the audience.
Of course.
And then like it just became like a whole fucking sermon. Like whoever was on stage was talking about right, dude, it was just so fucking weird. I'm like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck is happening?
So did like the comic attack him in a way where it's just like, what do you say?
No, he was a pro, so he's kind of like didn't antagonize him, but like acknowledged it and kind of just like
Just
yeah,
didn't acknowledge it too much.
Yeah, exactly. But the whole thing was just a weird thing. And then going up after that was like, and fucking Asians, huh? Hey, like, yeah. So it was just fucking weird.
That would have been fantastic, man. I've got a great Asian bit as well. I would have started with that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love Asian people though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Pros and cons of Asians. Let's do it. So let's start with pros, of course.
Sushi.
So the pros of Asian people. Very sort of
just generalizing like a whole continent.
Yeah.
It's a curry.
It's yeah. I mean,
I love a good curry.
Yeah, good.
Well,
curry.
if we say like Asians in terms of like the whole Asian continent,
is it all one thing?
Yeah,
because you've got Japan as well. They're also Asians.
Yeah,
part of the same continent.
Yeah,
I'm very uneducated.
Asia is like Southeast Asia, which is Japan, the Koreas, China, and then it also is like Thailand, the Philippines, I think.
Yeah.
India is part of Asia.
He's a Filipino. This guy.
Nice. India is part of India is part of it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, he is right behind it. Right.
Where is Russia? Is Russia like part of Asia or part of
Yeah, that's they're Asians.
Yeah, because if you go like the east of Russia, like they look very like Asian. But you go to west of Russia, and they look very European.
The Russians and the Asians, they're quite similar, don't they? They're both very straightforward people. They, neither of them have neither of them have a sense of humor. Yeah, I would say Russians all look similar.
It's the government, I think. It's that authoritarian regime.
Yeah. That old totalitarians.
Something like that.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, are we just going to leave the Asian topic?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Love sushi though.
Yeah, sushi's great. Yeah.
Squid Game.
Can't drive it.
Yeah, I actually, interestingly enough,
they don't care, on the road.
I went to China when I was 15. It's such a fucking wild place.
Right.
Bro, if you want to cross the street, you're like taking your life in your hands, dude. It's insane.
It's a risk.
It's insane. But the thing is that like no matter what happens, if you're a vehicle that struck a pedestrian, like it's always your fault. Like, it doesn't matter if they jumped out in front of you, like it doesn't matter what the fuck happens, like it's your fault.
If you're a pedestrian.
No, if you're in the car.
Oh, they go for the old insurance fraud there.
Yeah, kind of like, but it doesn't matter what happens. Like if a car hits a pedestrian, it's just their fault, like the car's fault.
Yeah.
So like people would just like walk and cars are like swimming around them.
Right.
But people on mopeds are just like So it's a wild place, dude. It's a wild place. Traffic is fucking crazy. But it was fun. I like how much knockoff shit there was there. Like anything you could think of, they made Chinese a fake version of it.
Yeah.
And it was like,
well, they've got the literal saying, Chinese knockoffs.
Yeah.
That's where it originated from.
So it was, it was a weird place. It was a weird place. I liked it.
Yeah.
Dumplings. Ate a lot of dumplings.
I bet.
It was a horror.
I mean, yeah. Shitty meat though. I mean, I feel like I'm ripping off Shane Gillis here. But definitely shitty meat with a chemical they created just to sort of like make it taste a bit nicer. SMG.
Oh, MSG?
MSG. Yeah, MSG.
Hang on, sorry.
Everything okay?
Yeah, can we just edit this bit out?
You've got a cheeky phone call to make?
Yeah, it's my dad calling me. Probably asking us.
Yeah, just give me a right. I'm going to take a page.
We're not going to edit this out though.
Put on speaker.
Hey, sorry, I missed your call. Oh, what'd you get? Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I was hoping for a call, maybe. All right. Hey. No, I'm probably there in a while. All right, love it, bye.
All good.
Yeah, so good. You see what I want for dinner?
Okay.
This I don't understand. Like, just the music blaring out of the chorus.
Right.
The
What's that?
Islanders love doing that. They like playing music
Yeah.
outside their cars.
But it's so weird. It's like, okay, but like, did you just find like the tiniest speakers you could find? And then,
Oh,
like,
definitely, yeah. They're not going to spend too much money on something they can't hear.
weird.
But they want to be seen.
We'll be saying over here. No, listen, I can relate.
Yeah. We can't relate to that.
Yeah, we can. Okay.
Well, we can in a way, like, we
Be seen,
the clothes that we wear, the boots that you wear, the shirt that I wear. I got a haircut during lockdown. Why?
How?
Yeah. A buddy came around.
Fair.
How was a podcast happening?
Yeah.
In the same sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all want to be seen in our little ways. Maybe they're just more honest about it.
Maybe.
Maybe we should, take a leaf out of the Islanders books.
Right.
Entirely, perhaps.
Yeah. I feel like that cease and desist is coming like real soon.
They don't have that power.
Yeah, just like some pro bono way. But you were going to tell me what happened today at work.
Well,
Because it was sad boy hours before.
Sad boy hours for sure. Yeah, I almost cancelled this damn podcast here with you would have been weeping tears of non-podcast tears. Anyway, I've had a pretty tough at work lately. It's been pretty tough the whole time actually. But yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I've been a bit down about it.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for people who I'm only working 3 days a week at the moment.
Right.
But 3 out of 7 of the days of your week, guaranteed are going to be shit.
Right.
That's pretty sad life. I take that as like a pretty sad life. I want to have 7 out of 7 days that I enjoy. That's what I want.
Right.
And I'm striving hard every day to sort of achieve that goal. Whether even while I'm still pursuing comedy, like I want to get a job where I can still be somewhat happy, have like a certain level of happiness.
Yeah.
I'm not achieving that at the moment because we're in lockdown. I can't leave, and so I've been gotten by the balls. Feel bad for people who work 5-6 days a week, but they've got responsibilities that they can't leave. They just have to live this. They have to spend their time at work because. No, I'm talking about just work. Let's say that the happiest life ever. Their kids are great. Their wife, she loves giving head, and all those hobbies, etc., etc. They're a happy person apart from when they're at work.
Right.
That's the fucking shit of existence, man. You got to fucking leave. You got to get the fuck out of here. You need to do whatever you can to leave.
Yeah.
Because everyone's self-aware. People talk about like how like. Like self-awareness just been a thing. We haven't just evolved in the last fucking like half century to where like all of these new things have just become a thing. Like Buddhism is like it's quite high at the moment. Self-awareness and mindfulness. This was always a thing. Like people who went to work and like didn't fuck with like Sally from accounts. Because like her wife was fucking abusive or whatever like that. They were like, I'm not going to fuck with Sally from accounts because I know she's got a tough life. That is self-awareness and mindfulness.
Right.
We've always had those levels of self-awareness, and those things have always been around. We haven't just suddenly evolved and got cleverer.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying. It's not even a thing.
Yeah. I had a buddy
Just
of mine.
being more mindful. Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine say one time, we were in middle school. He goes, you know what's weird? I said, what? He goes, going to school with someone is kind of like living with them. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, we spend more time with our classmates than we do with our families.
Hmm.
And I never forgot that because I was like, yeah, he's right.
I think that's definitely what teachers say, like on their first day.
Hmm.
They're like, hey, like, nice to meet you, I'm Mr. Johnson. Like, and in a moment, you're all going to stand up and say like 3 things about yourselves, even though you're terrified about that.
Hmm.
This is how it goes. This is the routine that's been in place for years. But here's a little speech about me, and let's get to know each other because we spend more time with each other than our families. I feel like I've heard that 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to downplay that.
No, yeah, no, that's
good part of your life.
But no, it's just weird because like it's true of work as well.
Damn straight.
So yeah, it's weird, just like kind of, yeah.
Probably even more so because like you spend probably more time. You don't have those like silly breaks. You don't have like an hour break for lunch and then 2 15-minute breaks either side of those.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, so yeah, if you are in a place you hate, it's like most of your life.
Just get out.
Yeah.
Just change.
But then again, it's like if you got kids,
right?
You got a wife. It's like you just can't just leave. You got to have a plan. And
there's also that mindset as well with like quitting, quitting from something. Like I understand if like you're a doctor or you're like a professor of logic, something like that. Yeah, you're striving something.
Yeah.
You're heading towards something. But if you're a waiter, like you're scrubbing dishes, and you're just like, oh man, my life sucks. My boss hates me. It's just like there's 100 other jobs out there at your level, at my level.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for sort of bring it back to me.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to sort of lockdown to open up, and so I can move. There's actually a job popped up just down the road.
Nice.
So that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-awareness has always been a thing. Stop kidding yourself with, just like get an actual hobby, apart from just like thinking you're spiritual and deep.
Yeah.
We're all spiritual and deep. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
As much as you do, because that's all you can talk about.
Yeah. It does grate a little bit sometimes.
Kooky bitches with spirituality and spirit animals and telling you they're star signs.
The star signs, horoscopes.
Yeah, that's a strange thing.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Get a better hope.
Yeah, thank God that they've got it though. Because can you imagine if they were like just decided to violence? Yeah. It's like I'm just grateful.
It's a good way to get laid as well. A very lucky random way to just get laid.
Right.
But it's like you're a Scorpio, you're like whatever you want, bitch.
Yeah. I'm a Sagittarius and they're like, oh shit.
I'll give you cancer.
Yeah. I'll give you cancer. Someone should clip that.
It doesn't make sense, but
yeah.
It felt right.
Yeah, listen, this life is a terrifying place to be. Yeah.
It is a strange, I think it's a very convenient way to live. There's always a meaning and a deeper thought process that's going on that's beyond your comprehension. It's like, I don't understand what the fuck just happened, and I don't really want to take responsibility for it. But you know what? I'm going with the fucking flow, and I'm floating in the river of life.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my closest friends, Hannah Jones. She's one of these cuckoo bitches, and don't worry, you're not going to watch this because it's going to be deleted. But I love you. And she's not even watching these ones because I haven't told her about them. She doesn't she's not really into comedy. She's she's one of these kooky bitches. But she's the coolest. But by God, and I think she kind of gets that I'm not She kind of steers away every now and again, but every now and again, like during the conversation, it'll pop to, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like this, she was
Right.
American.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah,
that bitches.
that can sometimes get a little bit, yeah. Hey man,
It all
sorry you
seems
lost your
convenient.
legs, but gotta work some mysterious ways.
Yeah, it
you're
almost
like-
seems like it's on the same strain and vein. Almost seems like it's on the same path as religious bullshit.
Yeah, it gets a little bit weird.
There's a meaning to those worms in your eyes.
Again, I think it's like a lot of people just
You're
want
gonna be a pervert.
Yeah. Are you a female? You like kids? Yeah, I don't know. Again, like
Both
I feel like, yeah, you know, things get romanticized. You know, I think it's easy to romanticize.
This is back to that.
That there's a bigger plan.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh.
Because like we have become such a secular society. Like religion was good in a lot of ways because it's like people understood their place and they weren't just existentially dreading every fucking day. You know.
Exactly.
Whereas now we're like,
they didn't have to get hobbies.
No, they don't have to do shit.
Their Sunday was covered.
Exactly. You know.
Now, was it just like a Sunday thing? They were just like, geez, what should we do about Sunday? Fuck, I've got no hobbies. I've got no nothing. I'm just sitting here around here beating my wife. You know, drinking all this moonshine.
Well,
my God. And then it was like that one guy who just drank that enough moonshine. This is way back when. You know, I'm talking way back when. Before God was the thing. And like who'd work 5 days a week.
Right.
And like the sixth day of the week was just him appreciating the fact that he wasn't at work. And the seventh day was just like, fuck. What the fuck am I gonna do my seventh day? Like I'm hungover. I know I've got work on Monday, so I can't drink. The whole day is just such a write-off. And he's like so bored throughout the day.
Yeah.
He creates this this mythology that turns into Christianity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
also my take.
You know,
as a hot take.
That's life's a horror. You know,
Jesus.
It's easy to despair. You know, but a little despair.
Especially when you got work on Monday.
Especially when you got work on Monday. Imagine just staring down the barrel of like work on Monday. You fucking hate it, but you've been doing it for 20 years.
I'm right with that. That scenario.
20 years.
But not that far.
You know.
I'm just sucking the tip.
That's the tip.
Yeah.
That's the tip.
That's the tip.
Yeah, you're gonna be like a fucking sword swallower. You know, careful. And that's the weird thing, because like time just goes past so quickly.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the weirdest thing about it. Like, you know, people have the same amount of time in a lot of respects. And you'll often see people who started in the same place and one just achieves so much more. And then you see the other people who kind of fall behind. And then they're like, I guess a little bit resentful of themselves in a way. Because they're like, oh, we started in the same place.
Right.
But it's because I've not actually done anything. You know? Like where I grew up in a small town.
Yeah, explain to me a bit more.
So I grew up in a small town. A lot of people from families that just, you know, parents didn't care. But we all, like, nobody was rich. But you see that there are some people who went on to become lawyers.
Right.
Some people have gone on to become doctors. But there's also still some people that are just like hanging out at that shitty mall.
Yeah.
They're still just doing the same thing as ever. And it was, I don't know, it's just like an interesting commentary to me on like the passing of time. Because it's so easy for things to just kind of go by and to just kind of be comfortable. As much as it sucks to just be comfortable doing something that you hate.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's been 20 years and you're like, Jesus Christ, like.
Often I go back to New Plymouth, quite often. And I remember once, it was quite a significant night for me. Quite meaningful for me, really.
Right.
This is when I was doing absolutely nothing. real piece of shit, real low life. Wasn't in comedy, and I was with an old buddy who is a year younger than me, and we used to play football together.
Right.
He was a nice guy, and a few other buddies, and his older brother was there. He was about maybe 3 or 4 years older than him, so a couple of years older than me. And they had all, my buddy had gone to uni, but his older brother had stayed home. He'd stayed in New Plymouth, and we were out having a few beers and whatever. And some guy approached him and said, we used to go to school together, whatever. And he's like, oh, cool, they were having a chat. Him and his older brother, right? And his older brother and them got into like a chat about what they were doing at the moment. And then this guy said to them like, but like, what have you done? What have you actually done?
No, what have you been up to?
Yeah, what have you actually been up to? Like really get into it,
Yeah.
Like asking him the real question,
Yeah.
What have you been doing with your fucking life, Kevin?
Yeah.
And he was like, he's a nice guy, this guy, Dan, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a nice fucking guy. And I'm he's done lots of things. But he kind of just like sort of shrugged it off, just like whatever. But his brother heard, my brother, he's like, the fuck he's saying, and then it was like a discussion. But like that was a real sort of like instinct sort of like interaction for me. Just like because like it brought a lot of emotions on me. I'm thinking like what have I done? What have I done from that point? And then I started like using my time a bit more wisely.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just like how you value your time.
Yeah.
Sort of like living in the moment versus living for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that's how you really that's sort of like how you progress in life. Not how you progress in life, because we all progress in life each day, but like that's how sort of maybe that's how you succeed.
Yeah.
That's how that's how you get better.
Right.
Because we all we all feel great. We all get like great amount of like endorphins from like doing things that feel meaningful to us. Definitely. And like you can only get so much meaning out of like watching Rick and Morty 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Watching,
the same episode.
Yeah, watching Netflix, and it seems like they're the same sort of regurgitation. I've stopped enjoying watching Netflix, man. I've stopped enjoying watching like TV. And like in my head, like it was scary at first. I'm like, Jesus, like feels like I'm just like sort of watching the same show, and I'm not getting the same like amount of enjoyment that I got from it. I used to sit down and I'd like have a glass of wine or whatever, and I'm like, oh, like what's my new show or whatever, or have like a joint, and it was like fantastic. But
right,
I don't get that anymore. I don't get that feedback.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as scary as it was, it's also exciting. It's like, man, now I can grow. Now I can like find that new sort of chapter, that sort of new platform that is going to get me that same sort of feeling. I've got to search for that. I've got to find it.
Sorry.
No.
Straight over you.
No. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that like trying to be happy in life is kind of like a fool's errand.
A what?
Like a fool's errand. Like it's a stupid thing to do. Like I think trying to live a meaningful life is probably better. Because like trying to be happy, like nothing's gonna make you happy permanently.
Well, it's not. I'm not talking about happiness. I'm talking about like fulfillment. So like, if I think about a fulfilled night back in the day, it's like cool. I've got like this bag of Cheetos. I've got like I've got this like episode of Rick and Morty that I've already watched, but I know like, I haven't watched it in a while. That was enjoyment for me. But now, that is like fucking far fetched from anything that I would even find fulfilling. Now, now I almost want to go to bed early.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, and that's kind of what I mean. Like fulfillment is kind of like a better option than than like just trying to
we're on the same page for
sure. But like it's tough, dude. It's tough.
It is tough because it doesn't feel natural as well, because we've been doing that for so long. And you're just like, man, like I used to love this shit.
I used to love it.
That was only yesterday, dude.
Right.
It was only yesterday. like every now and again, I still buy a mother energy drink
Yeah.
from like a dairy just randomly. I'm just like it's like weird impulse,
Yeah.
and I buy it, and it fucking tastes like shit.
Yeah.
I used to drink those things every day, dude.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, and then I don't do it again for like another like 2 months.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I still drink probably too much. I still smoke cigarettes, but yeah, I think definitely a lot of growth,
A lot of growth.
in the right direction.
That's good.
Mm.
That's good stuff. You know. Hey, congrats.
Yeah, fucking.
You could have figured that out at 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people don't.
Thank God for fucking Jesus, what's it called?
4chan?
Thank God for being mindful.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
God for mindfulness.